Hi friends, Siddharth again. A very common situation that everybody sees in job seekers visa is when you apply for job seekers visa, you select city A. But after 5-6 months, when you research a lot about Germany, you get to understand that you have made a wrong decision and you want to land in city B. Will that be a problem? So friends, to understand the answer to this problem, you have to see this video completely. So friends, this is actually a very common problem. It happened with me as well, and it happens with hundreds of people. See, what happens once we apply for job seekers visa, we really in a hurry because we understand that it's gonna take at least 5 to 6 months time. So we really want to apply for the job seekers visa as soon as possible, fill up the form and wait for the appointment. But at this stage, we normally don't do much of research regarding city. And at a later stage, there are many chances that you might get to understand that you have made a blunder. Probably the Ausländerbehörde of your choice of city is so horrible that people are literally crying like anything there. So you would like to land in a different city other than the one that is mentioned in your JSV form. So in nutshell, it is actually not a big problem, but still there are certain points to consider before deciding for this. You can definitely land in any city other than the one which you have mentioned in your job seekers visa form. But still, I would suggest you try to avoid this. There are certain ifs and buts, and situation may turn kind of bitter at times if you have done like this. So let's take an example of me myself. I during my job seekers visa application form, I mentioned Berlin as my first city where I'll be landing. But later on, I planned to stay in some other city, which was a very smaller city as compared to Berlin. Now, when I came to the small city, I got to understand some facts that you must also understand. The basis is, friends, when you write your job seekers visa appointment or when you give the appointment for JSV, you have to submit your forms or your documents in 3 sets. 3 physical sets of documents are required. One of these paper documents, actually a complete package of documents, is actually transported from your embassy to the Ausländerbehörde of the city what you have mentioned in your job seekers visa form. For example, in my case, that packet of documents was actually transferred physically from Mumbai to Berlin Ausländerbehörde, and those documents were actually there in Ausländerbehörde. Now, till now, everything is fine. You can rest assured that your documents have reached Germany and there is no problem at all. But the problem may come up at the time when you want to convert your job seekers visa to a work permit. Please have a look at my previous video. I mentioned or explained that with job seekers visa, you cannot start a job. You can only search for a job. Now, a point to note here, friends, I am talking about job seekers visa which is valid for 6 months, and I am not talking about job search visa which the students who do masters or bachelors in Germany get for 18 months to search job in Germany. That is job search visa. I am not talking about that at all. I am talking about job seekers visa which is for 6 months. So what happens with this job seekers visa? You cannot start a job. You can only search a job. And once you get a job contract, you have to approach Ausländerbehörde along with a set of more documents to convert your job seekers visa to a work permit. Now, this is the stage where the problem comes in. When you apply for this visa conversion process, the Ausländerbehörde will refer your original documents which you had submitted in your embassy in your home country. That is, that packet of documents will be referred in paper form, not in soft form. So in case if you have landed in any other city and done Anmeldung there and you have approached the Ausländerbehörde of that city, which is different than the one which you have applied for during job seekers visa application, the new Ausländerbehörde where you are presently staying will not have your paper documents. That packet of documents will not be there with the Ausländerbehörde. So they will now take extra time, maybe 1 week to 3 weeks time will be taken, and they will call your paper documents from the original Ausländerbehörde to this one. So this is definitely going to take a lot of time, will definitely waste a lot of time. Now, unfortunately, the problem is you cannot demand to bring these documents in advance in the new Ausländerbehörde. That is, once you initiate your visa conversion process, then only your foreigner's office or Ausländerbehörde will call your documents from the original city where you had planned to go and where your documents are actually residing right now. So this is the only problem that happens, because in this process some time will be lost. That is, 1 week to 3 weeks is definitely going to lost. Secondly, in worst case scenarios, there may be some room for confusion that may come up, because I have seen one instance wherein the blue card which was issued to the guy who did this thing was only for a very small time, and there was extra confusion that came up in this process. And the root reason was because he went to a city other than the one he applied for in job seekers visa form. Now, the profit or the benefit of doing so is also equally important. Now, this change of city is still a good option in case if you have applied for a very, very big city like Frankfurt or Berlin. Now, please have a look at my previous video wherein I showed you there was a newspaper reading there was a news in the newspaper that there are more than 10,000 mails waiting to be answered by Ausländerbehörde Frankfurt. And the similar situation is there in Berlin as well. It's like München, Berlin, Hamburg, all Ausländerbehörde are so much overwhelmed. They are so much stressed with their job that it takes really a very long time to get an appointment with these guys. And that is the reason why your decision to change city is still going to bear fruits. A wait of 7 to 21 days may still be economical as compared to a wait of 1.5 months just to get an appointment with Ausländerbehörde of these big cities. So the conclusion is, friends, it all depends on multiple parameters. Which city you have selected, which city you are going to, what is the current scenario, how much waiting time there in the Ausländerbehörde, or also there may be some unexpected burdening of the Ausländerbehörde. For example, there is a huge rush of Ukrainian refugees because of Russia-Ukraine war. For this reason also Ausländerbehörde of many cities are overwhelmed and they really don't have time even to answer your email queries. So you have to take into consideration all these parameters, all running circumstances, and then only decide which city you should land in. But in a nutshell, I would still recommend please land in a smaller city compared to a big city. Your life will be much easier there. Apart from that, the rents in big cities are soaring like anything. I mean, you can expect to have a room for 500 to 600 euros. And presently I'm staying in a very small city and my complete house cost only 600 euros. So these are some points from my side, friends. If you still feel that there is some points unanswered, please write them in comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And in case if you still have some questions or doubts in your mind, please feel free to approach me over YouTube comments. I'll be more than happy to make a dedicated video on your topic as well. I wish you all the best. See you and bye-bye.